Now I know what you're thinking. Mr. Sindewalds, you are not a wise man. How can you even share one word of wisdom? Well, I thought about that too. But in this day and age, if you don't know something, what do? That's right, you Google it. Now, when I was young, the only people who could Google were small babies. It was a cute little sound they made from both ends of their body. Anyway, I Googled wisdom, and this is what Google came up with. So here goes, a collection of 10 wise thoughts, according to Google. The first is a quote from a man named Will Rogers, although I'm pretty sure my mom said this to me at some point. According to Will Rogers and my mom, you should always follow the golden rule and live life so that you wouldn't be ashamed to sell the family parrot to the town gossip. The second is a quote from Dirty Harry, also known as Clint Eastwood, who said, "A man's got to know his limitations." Those are words to live by. I don't know if it applies to women or not, he didn't say. Third on the list includes two quotes from George Carlin. The first quote is, "Don't sweat the petty things, and don't pet the sweaty things." Makes sense to me. He also said, "If you can't beat them, arrange to have them beaten." There have been many times in my life when that would have been good to know. Number 4 comes from a famous American philosopher named Groucho Marx, who said, "Outside of a dog, a good book is a man's best friend. Inside of a dog, it's too dark to read." The fifth is an anonymous quote that has a physicsy ring to it. It goes something like this: "The frequency and volume of a dog's bark are inversely proportional to the intelligence of the owner." Take that one home and chew on. See how it tastes. The sixth little pearl of wisdom is from Lucille Ball, who advised us on how to stay young. She said, "The secret to staying young is to live honestly, eat healthy foods, and lie about your age." Number 7 is by a woman named Sally Berger. Now, I have no idea who Sally Berger is, but she said, "To avoid turning a small problem into a big problem, just say yes to your mother." And notice she said mother and not spouse. Words of wisdom number 8 comes from Monte Crane, who said, "There are three ways to get something done. Do it yourself, hire somebody to do it for you, or forbid your kids to do it." Number 9 has a political flavor to it. James Carville says, "Don't get mad, don't get even. Get elected, then get even." And finally, number 10 is known as Siegel's Law, which says, "A man with one watch always knows exactly what time it is. A man with 2 watches is never quite sure exactly what time it is." Huh, that's deep. I'm guessing a man with 3 watches is a pickpocket. So there you go, a little grab bag of wisdom from Google. Now, every now and then, one of my physics students will ask me such a great question that I remember it forever. For example, one year, my students were doing some lab calculations, and one of them came up to me and said, "Mr. Sindewalds, how long is a meter stick?" Whoa. On another day, I was about to begin class when Tom raised his hand and asked me, "Mr. Sindewalds, why isn't blue cheese blue?" "I don't know, Tom," I said, "but I've always wondered why the words foot and boot don't rhyme." The class was quiet for a moment. And then Nick raised his hand and said, "So what? Hand and glove don't rhyme either." This year's edition came from a young lady in my first block class, first semester. Now, somebody kept on repeating whatever she had just said, which she apparently found annoying, because she said, "Is there an owl in here?" I think she meant, "Is there an echo in here?" Maybe owls talk and repeat things people say. In closing, let me just thank the class of 2008 for being such a great senior class and for making this such a fun year. Good luck in whatever path you choose to follow. Good night and God bless.